And we're back. Thank you for still holding on. This is our FPL show where we ask Cyrus what's going on with his team. He hasn't been on where we found out why Dean is benching Jota and Fernandez and who he's putting in. And also we found out how AB's trying to he's literally holding on for dear life at the top of our long. It's just funny to see week in and week out when all his picks just go awry and you're like, dude, it's rough. But Dean, you said this is game week 34. It's not a blank game week. It's actually a full game week. You've got Spurs, you've got City players back, so everyone's happy. Why are you benching Jota and Fernandez in this match against Liverpool?
I mean, Fernandez has done about as much as Mourinho's done in the last 2 weeks. Nothing sat on his bum. So there's no point in having Fernandez. That's why, honestly, in terms of FPL, it's time to get Greenwood into your team because he's the only one that looks like he can do anything in that team. And Jota, you just don't know if he's going to start. And I think it's Liverpool's final hurdle until they have a relatively easy run of games. And I think that's where they're more looking to target. And yeah, the rest of the guys just have better fixtures. So, I mean, I've got Bamford, I've got Kane up front, I've got Chris Wood, who's hat-trick hero. Thank goodness he came through. I also would have ended up on 15 points last week. And yeah, there's a lot of the other teams that have had relatively easy games that I've got in defense. Like you look at Leeds have got Brighton, Spurs have got Sheffield, Wolves, although they can let in a few goals, have got West Brom. So it's relatively easy picking there. It was weird for me to bench both, but at the same time, I would hate to have Fernandez on the field and get 2 points and then have someone like Dallas get a 17-pointer and he's on your bench, like what we've seen in more recent weeks. So it's just one of those, and I have to take a bit of a punt trying to catch
Okay. So let's go into your team, your selections for this week, your transfers, your captaincy, and your differentials. You've chosen to transfer in Gilon, transfer out Matt Target. You've got Harry Kane as captain and Gareth Bale. So it's all Spursy as your differential. You're thinking around that?
Oaks are going to be upset about losing to the final, so they want to come out firing. No, Target's got some bad games coming for. I mean, Aston Villa are nowhere at the moment. To concede the way that they did and things like that, it's just shocking. So Target had to go. Spurs have got a relatively easy run on the next 4. They got Sheffield, Leeds, Wolves, Villa in the next 4. So one of the top teams that have got an easier run. In Liverpool's next, but like we said, they face United this week. So bringing in a Spurs defender I wanted to, and Davies is injured, and Aurier's just a red card waiting to happen. So that's why. Bale differential is 2.3%, but he's playing. He's starting with Mason in coach, so he's 100%.
Yeah, but that's because you had a golf thing that weekend.
we were trying to trick the opposition there.
You're trying to trick Man City.
Fact. We had to try anything. Man games. Look, Bale can work. He will play. He 100% will play. It's just that's why it's a differential. I don't have Bale in my team, so I've got Son.
Okay.
So, and then Kane captain Sheffield. Yeah, man's upset. He's gonna score goals. Simple.
Okay. So on my end, my team, I kind of decided I made quite a few transfers, but yeah, I was at the point where I'm like, it's the final month. Let me just try and push this through. So the guys I've also taken out Matt Target, and I've brought in Sufal. I think he's a really good differential option as a defender. Kelechi's my captain. He did well as a captain this weekend for me, scoring goals and an assist. And then Jack Harrison, this guy is a top 10 points getter from the midfield at 5.4, and he's only owned about 6.6% of the people, or is it's less than that. And for me, I kind of felt as though what, I need to give Leeds props. I know what he doesn't want to. He's the guy. So essentially, this guy literally will average about 4.5 points a game week for Leeds. And so I was like, what? Let me just give him a run. They've got an easy run, and it's for the final 5-6 games. And so we'll see how it goes. So for me, I brought in Jack Harrison, and he's a really good differential option because I think Leeds play Brighton. So That's probably goals galore because Brighton can't score goals and Leeds can. So that's going to be very interesting. And Kelechi, I went to him last week. He came good for me. I'm going to him again this week as well. They play Southampton and current Vardy can't score. I don't know what's going on there, but Kelechi can. So I've also subbed out Jota and left Bruno. So that'll be something. Cyrus, let's look at your team. I know you haven't played since Gameweek 28, but let's go through this.
Well, let's put it this way. Yes, I did retire. However, I didn't really retire. So I have been playing. I've actually been scoring points, which has been surprising for me and doing quite well. I went with Kane because I transferred him out, obviously, but I brought him back in.
Why?
And I will captain him.
Because he was injured.
It was that. And then also, the cup final nonsense. So, but I think that, he will be a scorer against Sheffield United who have just been horrible. Reece James, I think, is probably going to start this game, and Chelsea are playing Fulham. So, it's a good chance that he'll probably play because he came on as a sub against Real Madrid. And we had Cesar Azpilicueta play for the majority of the last couple of games. So it just makes sense to have Reece James in. And I think he's, depending on what happens with the strikers, because I have a feeling that Tuchel might try something a little different this weekend. And potentially throw in somebody like Giroud or Tammy to start against Fulham. Just to give them a little bit of a breather and also potentially get some more goals from guys who can actually find the back of the net. So, and if there's anybody who loves whipping balls in, it's Reece James. So I think that Reece James to Giroud should be a thing. I think Jota has been one of those where he had a really great hot streak. He's gone off the boil a bit. When they couldn't score against Newcastle, I was like, this is the sign. There's major problems with Liverpool. If they can't put Newcastle away, there's going to be, an issue with some of these other players going forward. So that's why I've also said Jota, if there's a guy who's going to sit out, it's potentially him, as in like either sub him out or completely transfer him out. I'm actually potentially looking at trying to get another Leicester person in. I'm not sure if Maddison is back.
He is. He is.
Because I did see.
My team.
Yeah,
he's on my bench.
He might be a good player to bring in because Leicester have actually surprised me. I'd expected them to start dropping points. Their run-in's not terrible, but the thing is, it was the mental fragility. I looked at this set of players and I thought, if they're going to get caught, now's the time. And they've managed to find the results. And without Iheanacho getting the goals for them, they would have done exactly as I'd expected.
Terribly,
but then that's why I put Kelechi in, because I know the guy has got a never say die attitude. I mean, he's a City reject, so he's got a point to prove.
So we've got a message on YouTube, and you can send in your messages as you'd like. This one's from a special person. He says, "Hi guys, Ole here. I'm going to sit deep and try and nick a goal on the break. I don't know anything else. Cheers, Ole." So
what's sorry? Can we just look at the fact that Ole has used his name twice in this message? I do think he might need a rest this weekend. Maybe he should rotate out.
That's the only concern about the legitimacy of that message.
Yeah.
The fact that he used his name
twice. Yeah.
Must be fake because of that.
No, he's just tired. It was clearly
100%
all the best tonight. Yeah. It's 2 hours before the game, so
he's watching the cheap seats. I mean, this is what we'd expect.
Tactics,
that's the caliber.
Tonight, Donny van der Berg start. Donny van der Berg. No, Bruno.
No, he's not starting. He's not starting. Donny van der Berg not starting.
Okay, so from that little Ole break to the man who does support Ole, AB, your team. What are your picks this week? What have you done in your team? I see you got Matheus Pereira, who's a lovely differential.
So okay, unfortunately, Smith Rowe, he's thereabouts, so he's coming out. Pereira's coming in because I think West Ham have a fairly chilled fixture. Well, I mean, regardless of their fixtures, they need They need points. So if someone's going to do it, Pereira's going to do it. Differential, Andreas Christensen. He's owned by like 2% of the population, and he plays. He always starts. Chelsea have kept 2 clean sheets in a row. So regardless of their Champions League rotation and all of that, I think he'll play because Tuchel can't really risk playing any other centre-backs. And then main man Harry Kane up front in white while he still can wear it. Yeah, why not?
Have a white away kit?
Who?
Don't United have a white away kit?
No, not for next
Yeah,
yeah.
season.
Oh yeah,
City's
City
got
have
one.
one for now, but they're going to change their away kits. Yeah, so
Don't worry,
maybe-
he'll be in white
maybe
next
whichever
season,
team
guys.
wears white next
Don't
season.
worry, man's not going anywhere.
He says as his voice trembles.
Don't make me cry myself to sleep tonight, please.
Okay,
It's the
okay,
rocking.
guys. One last thing. I think Ole might have another message for. He does. He
There we
has
go.
another message for us. He's bored on the team bus. He's been sat next to Michael Carrick. Great show, guys. Thanks, Ole.
Thanks, Ole.
We'll try to give you more tactics next week.
It's amazing.
But from a captaincy perspective, I know 3 of you guys went for Kane. I went for Iheanacho. Are there any other captaincy guys that you're looking for this weekend? This Wood somehow, somewhere scoring a hat-trick. Is there that type of a person that you can go for?
Bamford against Brighton. If you want to take a punt,
Ooh,
man can score
that's
some
a
goals.
proper punt.
Yeah.
So
Anybody
yeah,
at Arsenal against
Okay,
Newcastle?
I was actually
Arsenal.
going to say, I mean, look, if Aubameyang, is he going to play? Is he still out?
He's fit.
Right? I think Oba could actually score against Newcastle. Newcastle are horrid. They are proper horrid. Steve Bruce still has a job. That is an incredible thing for me. But potentially Aubameyang at Arsenal. No, Steve Bruce. He's doddering. That's what he is. I mean, craziness of this is he is still worse than Crystal Palace's manager Ray Hodgson, who is most likely going to retire and move into an old age home at the end of the season.
Wow.
Right? Steve Bruce. Oh my word!
But look at Joe Willock. Joe Willock. Look at he scored late winner against Spurs.
Against us, by the way. He scored against Spurs. He scored against Liverpool, and I think he scored against.
Against Chelsea as well.
Late-minute winners.
Yeah.
So
he's got
a
the
good
legs.
pick for next
He's
week,
got the
not
legs.
this week.
No, he won't play. Yeah, he won't play. But when you're looking at John Joe Shelby and your team, you've got to ask some serious questions, guys. You've got to really ask some serious questions about what's happening there. I honestly, like Callum Wilson must be thinking it would have been better to go down with Bournemouth than stay up with Newcastle.
Wow.
That is huge.
Wow.
So
I said it.
City play Crystal Palace. Is there anybody from City in the
don't risk it.
rotation?
Are you going to
Do not risk it, guys.
You're going to test Pep.
Guys. They are this close to the Champions League final. Please do not buy us. No. Who's City? Is Claudio Bravo still at City?
No, it's Zach Steffen.
No, they've got
Steffen.
He'll play.
Steffen will definitely play.
No, but what about Sterling, Jesus, Aguero up front against Crystal Palace? Does that not entice anybody?
Don't try it. Do not try it, please.
He'll probably play that Liam Delap Oak up front, their striker, before he plays any of those other guys.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, no City, and one
I
last.
think West Ham against Burnley. Lingard might be a decent one as well.
Yes.
This is the one. I'm going to say something hugely controversial. Hugely controversial. So don't judge me for this. This will be the game that Jesse Lingard picks up an injury that rules him out of the Euros.
Don't you put that evil on him.
Wow. Okay.
It's Burnley.
Cyrus.
It's Burnley. I can see it.
Chris Wood must
Cyrus, why do you want to remind me of Ryan Shawcross? Because this week we found out that 3 more spots are available to go on the plane to Euros. So you want to be number 24, number 25, or number 26. And currently I think Jay Lings might be in.
I'm touching wood. I don't want it to happen. I just
if
have
he gets
this
injured,
feeling.
if he gets injured, I'm
you.
coming to your house.
I'm just saying. Somebody told me.
Lottery numbers, right?
Guys, it's Dele Alli. Dele Alli is getting that last spot. Have you seen? He got a new haircut. Man's on fire.
Number 26.
Man's literally gonna come through. It's worse,
Okay,
it's,
gents,
it's
let's-
worse than Aubameyang's haircut, and that's saying a lot. So I don't want him anywhere on the pitch.
Don't judge Oba's hair.
Okay, gents, let's close it out now. Thank you very much, guys, for a great show. Cyrus and his controversial picks on my word. But
Shook,
anyway,
you shook.
thank you to everyone who's watched and listened. Thank you, Ole. Thank you, Ian.
Thanks, Ole.
Keep them coming. Remember, you can follow us on these different platforms as we try and get through to the end of the season. Most importantly, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Thanks, guys. To everyone who's watching, enjoy the weekend of sport. Enjoy Manchester United versus Liverpool as much as you can, depending on where you sit. Enjoy the Europa League semi-finals because it is Thursday night and we are live on all the platforms. Yeah, I'm probably going to be crying tomorrow morning, so maybe do check up on me.
No need for tears. No need for tears. You're a mid-table team. Take what you can get.
Go watch
The magic of the Europa League, guys.
I'll take what I can get, but thank you very much, guys. Thank you to everyone watching, and we'll see you next week for another episode of The Cheap Seats.